it's a consuming job, and you don't have the expertise to help you fight the battles that you got to fight.
Across the state of Tennessee, there are thousands of families who suffer without the proper access to the health care that they need to survive on a daily basis. The Tennessee Justice Center serves as an advocate for those Tennessee families by providing legal counsel and support.
Riley was diagnosed with autism at about 2 years old, and we quickly started researching the therapies that were appropriate for her, and what could we do. Found a lot of great advice, but most of them required 20 to 40 hours a week of therapy that was, $65 to $100 a session.
We were pretty much in a world of hurt because we were told we were losing a lot of home health care hours for him, personal aides. We didn't know where to turn. We just, out of the blue, you're losing this.
I was having trouble with TennCare, threatening to take away my help, my hours, cutting down on my hours, and try maybe to force me into putting her in a nursing home, which was not an option as far as I was concerned.
Right now, Tennessee has one of the most restrictive Medicaid programs, and TennCare is just our name for Medicaid. One of the most restrictive Medicaid programs in the country, and what that means is that it's very difficult to get onto the program, and when you do, you find yourself having to battle to get services that in most other states would be routinely provided.
You're kind of left to kind of go through this maze and not really guided by anyone.
It's designed to discourage you and just say, we give up.
The Tennessee Justice Center is about providing low-income people with equal access to the justice system. And that's really important if you think about it. We want everyone to have access to our civil justice system in this country.
Generally, families come to us in one of two situations. One, they're either trying to get onto TennCare or to get benefits through the Families First program, which is a program for single parents who are trying to learn skills so they can work and get independent. The second situation is people who are on TennCare and their HMO is denying them the service that their doctor says they need. So using the law to give the children what their doctor says they should have, standing up for those families to make sure that they get a chance to reach their potential.
She said that she was going to meet with their team and would follow up with me. Within a day or two, I had an email back saying the team has gotten together, discussed Riley, and these are some other options that we want you to look into that, possibly she could qualify for.
Walked us through everything and said, hey, hold on, this is what this means. You need to do this.
Kind of guiding me along as to what to do and how to handle the situation.
We handle cases that have implications for low-income, disadvantaged families statewide. So when we accept a case, we do so with the expectation that if we can achieve a good result for that client, we may be able to affect others as well.
They're almost like the proverbial David and Goliath story. They're David trying to fight a huge machine to protect the rights of individuals. And parents, people, just common folks like us, we don't know what our rights really are and really what we should expect. And these people at TJC, they're the light at the end of the tunnel for us.
Everyone has a stake, I think, in the rule of law, of our being a country that treats everyone equally, and where the statement over the lintels of the U.S. Supreme Court, equal justice under law, really apply to everybody. And unfortunately, if you don't have access to able legal counsel and your life is on the line, or the life of a loved one is on the line, or the essentials of life are at stake, that means that that saying, that principle that we all value so much, is not real. And so anybody who believes in our American system of justice, I think, and wants it to live up to its ideals, has a stake in helping us make those a reality for the most vulnerable people in the state. We're talking about children in the foster care system, people in nursing homes, people with life-threatening illnesses and no insurance. We're talking about very vulnerable Tennesseans.
I think just having an advocate, somebody that is not, necessarily a government agency, that's kind of looking at numbers and budget, but somebody that can actually say, I know you're in a unique situation, and these are the things that we think might help.
Their caring is what is so valuable to us as parents and as an handicapped individual. They care. That's why they're there. If you have any question about where to go, or what kind of services are available, or what you might qualify for, that is the first stop. I wish I had known about it, years ago. Riley's 8 now, diagnosed at 2. There might have been services that we missed along the way because we weren't informed. If we hadn't had TJC, we would have zero care right now.
The other thing that I think makes me proud of us, and it may be counting funny in these days when the policy keeps changing, but it is families for whom they say, nobody else listened to me, nobody else said I was valuable, and you have made me feel like, even if you can't solve all my problems, you have made me feel like I'm important.
In the eyes of the law, they're all equal, but that only has meaning if there's somebody there to enforce their rights and to speak for them when their lives are in crisis and they don't have anybody to do that for them.
Wouldn't take anything for it, I'll tell you. I certainly can recommend them highly.